since one of the architects of reforms is sitting here, Monte, it was P.V. Narasimha Rao, Dr. Manmohan Singh, Montek Singh Ahluwalia and Chidambaram. These were the four architects of economic reforms. These people did in one week what we had not done in whatever 45 years. Anyway, since he is sitting here, let me first acknowledge his seminal contribution to what India is today, and then say those days it would take about 50 visits to Delhi and about 3 years to get a license to import a computer of $100,000. 50 visits to Delhi and 3 years. Each visit those days it used to cost us approximately about $2,000 because the rupee then was about 6.2 or 6.3 rupees per dollar. So if you look at the high prices of flying and all of that, of course if you went by train it would take a lot of time. Overall hotel, everything included, you were spending approximately about $2,000. So you would have spent $100,000 in obtaining the license before you even thought of importing a $100,000 computers, number one. Second, it took us those days 7 years to obtain a telephone connection. The highest priority was for government officials. The second highest priority was for retired government officials. A telephone connection. In fact, if you remember, C.J. Stephen, who was the communications minister, when somebody went to him and said, telephones are not working, what are you saying? Even you should be very happy, at least there's an instrument on your table, because even Madam Indira Gandhi's telephone doesn't work at 7 Racecourse Road. That was the state of telecommunication in India. Third, in order to make a visit, in order to visit abroad, you had to apply to the Reserve Bank of India, wait for about 15 working days, 3 weeks of delay, and then you may get a positive reply. Most bureaucrats won't understand it because they always use other channels and it was easy for them. But for those of us who are mortals, it was like that. Not only that, when you came back, you had to submit a tour report. Let me tell you the joke about this tour report. One of my friends, Mr. K.V. Ramani, an extraordinarily honest entrepreneur who came good later on, and he sold his company to Hughes Communications Company. He applied to Reserve Bank of India to visit Paris for 2 days and Frankfurt for 1 day. When he went to Paris, the person he was supposed to meet the second day was not in Paris. He had gone to Frankfurt, the headquarters, and therefore he asked him to come to Frankfurt. Therefore, he ended up spending 1 day in Paris and 2 days in Frankfurt, as against 2 days in Paris and 1 day in Frankfurt. He promptly got a show cause notice from Reserve Bank of India. When I told Bimal, when I was on the board of RBI, he wouldn't believe me. He would say, come on, the RBI can't be that stupid. But that was the state of RBI at that point of time. And then there was an officer called Controller of Capital Issues, who was an IAS officer, who had no idea what capital markets were. He used to sit in Delhi, where the capital markets were primarily in Mumbai. The Controller of Capital Issues used to sit in Delhi. And that fellow would rarely give you an adequate pricing for the IPO, initial public offering. But as you know very well, IPOs or listing is all about future prospects of a company, not just the past performance. Past performance is important, But what is even more important is, if the management is good, if it is in a good sector of the economy, if there are exports, then there is a great future for the company. That officer never understood about the future prospects. So there were many such things that we went through those days.
Sure.